apologize. I lost my voice. Really excited to have Brian here today. Obviously, 16th pick of last night's draft from Florida State. I'll bring him up. He'll take some questions briefly, and then we'll let him be on his way. Obviously, he talked to some of you last night on the phone, but if you could introduce yourselves, I think that'd go a long way. Brian.
All right, how everybody doing? Y'all good? Thank you, I appreciate it. I feel good. I mean, what's up?
I was gonna say no spoilers, but how was Endgame last night?
I ain't watched it yet. I gotta go back to Tally and see with my boys. That's why. So I waited.
So are you gonna try and stay out on social media the next couple of days so you don't find any spoilers?
I already deleted Twitter off my phone. Yeah. I had the few people that said congratulations. I retweeted and it's off.
I'm sorry to ask you this, but are you wearing special socks again today?
Yeah.
Do you think we could see them?
Yeah,
Thank you.
These are different than the other ones, like from the back to the top.
Appreciate you, Brian.
Yeah, no problem. You got it?
Yesterday was so cool. We just had to ask. But
Yeah, get used to that.
Like coming in the building, and then specifically, have you gotten to spend any time with Everett Brown yet?
Yeah, I mean, it's still a surreal moment. Like, I still can't believe it. I mean, it's like a dream come true. I mean, my brother just played there over a decade ago. Now I'm following his footsteps in the same organization. It's amazing. And yeah, I did spend some time with Coach Everett.
What was that like? I mean, did y'all have much of a relationship, in Tallahassee at all?
Yeah, we was already tight. So I mean, it's same old. He giving me tips and everything. We just catching up, pretty much chopping it up.
I know you grew up idolizing Julius Peppers. As far as your teammates here, is there one player that you're looking forward to playing with most, or just picking the brain of?
Luke Lee. I can't pronounce his last name, but you know what I'm talking about, Luke. Yeah, I'm looking forward to playing with him. I mean, my brother talked about how he used to play with Dan Morgan, and he said that Luke is a lot like Dan. And he said Dan used to call out the plays before it even happened, and Dan was so relentless and crazy. I need somebody like that behind me, so on my side. So I definitely want to play with Luke.
Brian, have you settled on a number yet? I know your old one's is taken here, but have you and by pretty prominent talent? So, but what do you think about that number so far?
Honestly, I haven't really decided. Talked about it a little bit, but I don't know right now at this point.
Who was saying? Was he 75 or 76?
75 and 74.
You're not feeling
75?
That's not me. That's not my style.
Brian, we had heard a lot about how much you love Spider-Man. Can you remember when you first started getting into superheroes and maybe what your earlier memories are of who you were pretending to be and what you liked and kind of how you followed that hobby?
Oh, yeah. Growing up, I was always a Spider-Man fan. All the way from Tobey Maguire. That's probably where it first started off at. Yeah, but I just fell in love with the movies, and I just fell in love with that character. I like the new kid that's playing it, Tom Holland. I think he's doing a good job. I like that.
You read any comics?
Yeah. I wasn't big into the comics, but I got a couple. I got one at the house.
Depending on whether you view certain guys as a linebacker or a defensive lineman, as many as 11 to 13 D linemen went in the first round last night. And all along, it was figured it was a deep group and a talented group. How much did you get to know some of those guys in that group, and did it even surprise you a little bit that many went off the board?
Yeah, I got to know them pretty well throughout this whole process. They're great guys. I mean, all of them, they're very talented. So, I mean, I wish them luck at their organizations and everything like that. But, yeah, I got to know them, and I feel like I'm going to continue that connection with them boys. And I feel like this is probably the best class as far as that group in a long time.
Brian, what about?
Go ahead, Jordan.
Oh, thank you. What about the Spider-Man story arc spoke to you when you were younger?
Well, you know, in the comics, he was a kid, right? So I'm glad they're getting back to that kid aspect. Like now, it's because Toby was like an adult, like working at a newspaper or something like that. But now he's back to a kid. He was on the school bus, and I can't wait for the next one because he's on the school bus. Now he's coming off the school bus. So that's pretty much that kind of wrapped me into that because he was a kid superhero. That's kind of how I feel about that.
You can relate to him a little bit.
Yeah, at the time.
What's some of the messages you got from your new teammates?
Not really. They say Luke contacted me, but I don't think his text must not have went through. And they said Mario contacted me too, but I didn't get that either. But Cam commented on one of my Instagram posts, and that's about it from what I know of. I haven't really been checking my phone.
Excuse me, I didn't talk to you on the conference call last night, so I forgot to introduce myself. I'm Jason Brown with Spectrum News. Congratulations for one. One of the things that head coach Ron Rivera said last night after they drafted you was that you make big plays at key moments of the game, not when the game is 40 or 30 points, up or down. Can you remember the first time that, you sort of came through in a key moment like that, and what's that rush, what's that mindset feel like to when you have to make a play and you go make a play?
The first time?
If you can remember the first time, or just what that moment is like, because when it gets the game's on the line, that's what he noticed about you, is that you make a play when the game's on the line.
Well, since you said the first time, one of the main things I can remember was back in high school, my senior year, was playing DeMatha. It was a tight game. I think we were probably down by like 2 or something like that. It was coming down to the last, it was like 22 seconds. I don't know how long it was. It was something like that. And they were on the goal line, and it was like 3 plays or 2 plays back to back. I got a sack, tackle for loss, and then I blocked the field goal. And we scooped it up, ran about 40 yards or so. We ended up scoring. We was down by 1, and we still lost that game, but we should have won. We should have won. It was just a great series of plays, and that's pretty much the time. Because one of my younger players had stepped up to me. He was like, "What you gonna do?" I was like, "All right, I got you." So that was pretty much it.
And what is that like when you have to go make a play because it's not easy?
I mean, at the end of the day, it's just what you do. I've been doing this all my life, so it is what it is. It's all the work that you put in, and you get those kind of results. That's what makes it worthwhile.
One thing Marty said that he appreciated about you during this process was that you knew how good you could be, but you also knew what you needed to do to get there. So in your words, how good can Brian Burns be, and what do you need to do to get to that level?
I feel like my ceiling is limitless, and I feel like I got to acquire the knowledge that I need from Luke, from Pep, from Mario, from Bruce Irvin, from all the vets that I can get it from, all the coaches I can get it from, just to be as good as I want to be. And putting that work in, putting that time in is going to get me there.
Do you envision being a day 1 starter?
Yeah, I wouldn't say no, but that's in due time. I just have to really get in here, get the system, get everything down, make the coaches trust me, and then that everything could take place after that.
You touched on your speed off the ball and being 6'5" and having that ability to drop back in coverage. Is that something that you consider one of your stronger assets in just your athleticism as a defensive end?
Yeah, definitely. I feel like I'm more versatile. I feel like I was the most versatile edge in this class. So being able to do that, being able to do multiple things. I also play special teams. Being able to do multiple things can help me. It can definitely help me in getting on the field early and contributing.
Ryan, obviously this is about to be a long journey, spring workouts and summer and training camp and learning about how to be an NFL player. Can you think of any examples of times of adversity you faced in your life that you think might help you through kind of this learning curve that you have to attack now?
Just life throw all kind of things at you. I can't really think anything specific, but I just know these past 2 seasons I had at FSU were terrible. They weren't. It's not what FSU is known for. So going 7-5 and then 5-7 or whatever it was, 5-6, whatever it was. Those are tough. So I think me fighting through that and not pulling myself out like any other players could have did, or not giving up, not letting my teammates down, I feel like that's me fighting through adversity, and that's me not giving up.
You said players are afraid of your speed. Give me an example of where you might have seen that.
Clemson, I made, no disrespect to number 73, but I made him jump off sides like 4 times in the game because he was so scared. He was trying to get back. But, yeah, he was shaking. But, yeah, that's one example.
You were a leader on those Florida State teams that you mentioned, even though you guys struggled more than you were accustomed to. How difficult or how much of a challenge was that to be a leader for a team that was admittedly struggling and playing below their expectations?
It wasn't difficult. It wasn't difficult to lead, and it wasn't difficult to be on that team. It was just difficult to deal with because it was kind of embarrassing. Not kind of. It was embarrassing to be at FSU and have a losing record. That's not what it's known for, and that's not what you want to leave out on. That's not the note you want to leave out on. So it was just more embarrassing than difficult.
Brian, Marty talked a little bit yesterday about as you grow into your body being in the NFL, you get bigger and stronger. Are you worried at all that your speed will kind of not go away, but lessen as you get bigger and stronger?
No, not really. As long as I put it on the right way, eat the right food, do the things necessary to keep it, I don't think it'll be a problem. I mean, I put on, 20-some pounds in like 2 months, 2.5 months. So, I mean, that didn't slow me down, so I don't think anything would.
Put on that weight? How did you put on that weight?
Just taking nutrition more seriously. I didn't know hydration was such a big part. You know, being in college, you really eat whatever. So going into Exos, a program like that, it gave me a regimen, and I followed it to the T. And that's just what happened.
How many
Had the
calories
heat.
was that a day?
I don't know, 5 something.
And where are you at now? Like, have you been able, you tapered off that, I imagine? You've tapered off that diet?
I'm still training. I mean, I'm getting back to training from all this traveling and doing everything and these hotel workouts. I'm finally going to be back on a schedule I can follow.
But eating-wise, are you still doing that?
I mean, it's not like I'm stuffing my face. It's regular meals. It's just like, it's regular meals. It's not nothing too bad. It's not hard.
When you were at Exos, obviously a lot of guys training in there. Did you make friends or build relationships with anybody that you kind of have talked to throughout this process as you guys kind of are comparing what's going on?
Oh, yeah, I built relationships with DK Metcalf. I already knew Devin Bush, but it got stronger. O'Shane Jimenez, Max Crosby, guys like that. Those are the main guys I talk to, I hang out with, and I'm keeping them, they're keeping me posted throughout that process.
Ryan Harbaugh with the Charlotte Post. How much of a grind has this process been from your last game at Florida State to getting here today?
Oh, it's been a grind. I mean, coming out, I had some boxes I had to check, so I made it sure I did it. I made sure I worked hard and did everything I had to do to check those boxes. So it's been a grind, but it's worth it.
Heard your connections to, obviously Stanley, but Peppers and Marty a little bit. Was there anyone a little kind of more under the radar Panther-wise that you connected with during this process?
Under the radar?
Yeah. I don't like an assistant coach or a scout or anyone like that.
Probably Everett. I mean, a lot of people didn't know. Well, I mean, they know, but they don't really know how close he was with me, especially through my years at FSU. He was on the sideline helping me out. So that's probably the under the radar person that people don't know about.
You obviously dreamed of one day playing in the NFL. Who's the one quarterback that you'd like to sack most?
You just got to go for the GOAT. I mean, he's the greatest of all time, so I'm going for the big dog. That's just who I would like to sack.
Anything else from
Panthers at New England, week 3 of the preseason.
He's not playing in that.
Anything else?
Brian, your brother was really, obviously very excited for you last night. Has he calmed down any?
I hope. I mean, last time I seen him, he was still losing it, but I'll see him pretty soon. Hopefully he calmed down a little bit.
Brian, thank you so much.
All right. Thank you.
Congratulations.